Hi, this video is dedicated to inserting and working with images in Google Doc. So to start with, place your cursor, the location you want the image, and insert image. You can see there are lots of different options. One is simply to upload an image. So you can choose an image to upload. I'll go to my desktop. There's one, open it up. And that image is in my document. Now once an image is in your document, you have a couple of choices. When you click on it, you can wrap text. So that will cause it to be kind of out of the general flow of the document. Now I'll break text to put it back in place. The other option you have is to adjust the margin. So if you are going to wrap it or put it in line or have other items come up next to it, you can adjust the margin around that picture. Other options for inserting pictures: insert image. Take by snapshot. You can use this if you're working on a computer that has a webcam. You're going to see the particular machine I'm on right now does not. But if I had one, it would just give me my options to take a picture, snapshot of myself or anything else, and to upload that. To upload by URL requires that you know where the image is. So I'm going to go to Google Images. I'm going to search for vegetables. And I find one that I like. That's an awfully big one. Let's find one that's not so big. They're all big. Well, it's a little better. The first thing that I would do is I want to get the an actual URL or web address for this picture, and to do that I'm just going to pick View Image. Now that's an address I can use, and I'll copy it and I'll paste it in to the box. If I get one in that's correct, that's an actual address, it's going to appear here, and I can select that, and that will be inserted into my picture. Now I can resize it by grabbing it by a corner and bringing it down. So even though the actual image is larger than this, as it exists out on the web, I can display that differently. Let's look at a couple of more options, and then we'll look at some formatting we can do to these pictures when they're in place. So insert image, albums. So if you're storing things in Google Albums, there's one. You can select that for insertion into your document. Google Drive, anything that's stored on your Google Drive, you can select and insert. Let's make that one a little smaller. This one as well. Okay, and finally you can insert an image. Oh, from your drive, and I'm sorry, I should have shown more detail on this. From your drive, you can pick an image that you find. You can also go to the Shared With Me section in case someone has shared an image with you. And you can also go to your recently used files. But I'm going to return to the main section here and click Search. Okay, so I can conduct a Google search on the fly. I can decide, I can't get as much information about these, but I can decide that's the picture I want and insert it. Now, when I say I can't get as much information, is I don't know how many pixels this is or how large the file is. You do have some minimal controls when you do your search. So if we're in search, you see that you can select perhaps that you'd like a face or a photo or some clip art, a line drawing. You can say what color you'd like primarily, and you can see that affects things. Although I'm searching for, let me search for a black and white picture of grains that's a photo. And I'm not getting very much because I've limited my search too much. So what if I take any kind of clip art, and there you go. So now I've got clip art, and you can see that I am at least getting some images of grains. Now, one word of caution: if you are inserting something, particularly by URL, you're not actually saving the file here. You're actually downloading it each time from its space on the web. So a couple of things could happen here. One is it's really not the most polite thing to do because you're using somebody else's bandwidth. And secondly, should somebody change the image, move it, rename it, delete it, this is going to break for you. So something you might want to consider. I very rarely do it by URL because I can always save the picture and insert it, and that's a little safer and will be around long term. Now, you also have some options for the images themselves. So when I click on this image, you can see that a toolbar comes up. I have some image options here. I could recolor it, give it a different cast. Make it black and white. I can adjust its transparency. So this is particularly useful if you're laying it over something and you want that other thing to show through. I could adjust its brightness and its contrast to get a little bit of a different look. I can always reset my adjustments to put them back where they were previously. I've got a crop tool where I can remove part of the image. That's a very useful tool. I can reset the image at any time to get the full image back using this button. This is the line and line weight. So if I were to set my line weight at 2 pixels, I would get myself a border. And if I were to make that dotted, I would have a dotted border. I can change the color of that dotted border here. I can do things with alignment and spacing that you should be familiar with. I can make this image a hyperlink. So by being selected on the picture, I get a context menu of things that would apply to that picture. You will see a More option. Basically, it lets you replace the image. I would probably just delete it and go insert another image, but you can do that. Last option with an image is to click on the little dot above the center square, and that would allow you to rotate it. Okay, that's the quick overview of how to work with images in Google Docs. Best way to do this is to do it. Get out there, insert some images, try all the features, and see what you can do.